In mythology, you remember Icarus flew too close to the sun. In our age of techno-idolatry, that figure is not crafted from feathers and wax, but from stocks, tweets, and exploding prototypes. His name is Elon Musk. A man who promised Mars and gave as well. Doge. Today, he's become a tale of hubris, decline, possible redemption, not of a man merely, but of an entire era in which we mistook charisma for competence and disruption for development. So let's begin not with his tweets, but with his toys. The latest test of Musk's flagship rocket Starship ended not in glory, but in what SpaceX euphemistically calls a rapid unscheduled disassembly. In other words, it blew up again. This was supposed to be the vessel that carried humanity to Mars. Instead, it can't even re-enter Earth's atmosphere without disintegrating. 3 failures in a row. Not the triumphant conquest of the stars, but the expensive choreography of scrap metal and in danger. Something that endangers the planes taking off, landing nearby. So we're forced to ask, is SpaceX still an engineering firm, or has it become a spectacle company, a firework company, a sort of Cirque du Soleil in reverse, less acrobatics, more falling? Now, to the earthbound theatre of Washington, D.C., Musk's political experiment as the head of Trump's Department of Government Efficiency, ludicrously dubbed Doge — I thought a Doge was a thing in Venice — has ended in bureaucratic ashes. His promise: cut $2 trillion from government spending. The result: roughly $175 billion of unverifiable savings and at least 260,000 grumpy civil servants sacked or shuffled. Federal judges have already overturned many of these firings. It turns out the businessman couldn't even make Twitter X profitable, and his factories are riddled with human rights complaints. He perhaps wasn't the best man to redesign the US government. Worse still, Musk now openly criticizes Trump's signature tax bill as bloated and deficit inflating, an ironic turn from a man who bankrolled the very presidency, now delivering the legislation he disdains. So let's talk money. Musk's $44 billion acquisition of Twitter in 2022 remains one of Wall Street's most audacious gambles. It nearly broke the banks, quite literally. 7 major institutions held on to the toxic debt like gamblers hoping the roulette wheel might favour them. Then came the 2024 election, Trump's win, and Musk's elevation to the corridors of power. The banks offloaded the loans just in time, salvaging their ledgers, not because the business made sense, but because Musk, in an act of vanity or duty, personally covered some of their losses. Not quite capitalism, not quite confidence. More like a billionaire patching the holes in his own hull to keep afloat. This wasn't investing. As one analyst said, it was a trade. And what of Musk's the man? His alignment with Trump alienated half his customer base. Tesla's sales collapsed. Protesters vandalized his cars. The Tesla stock, once a darling of speculative futurism, fell by nearly 45%. He has now said with an air of resignation that he will be back to sleeping in factory floors. No longer the global darling of clean tech, Musk has become at best a polarizing symbol, at worst a liability. His own board was reportedly seeking successors. He's now publicly downplaying political donations after pouring nearly $300 million into campaigns that have produced chaos rather than certainty. And as for AI, Starlink and Neuralink, the noise has grown quieter. So what is Musk's future? Perhaps he will rebound. He is, after all, a man of extraordinary stamina and boundless ego, qualities that have built empires and broken them in the past. But today, he stands not as a pioneer, but as a cautionary tale, a monument to overreach, overstretch, and the cult of personality. He promised Mars, and what we got was a man with a chainsaw, a debt mountain, a platform called X, and a very public reminder that even the richest man on Earth cannot escape gravity.